welcome back to Off Scott Free Podcast. I am your host, Atlas Scott, with other hosts, better host, Olivia
I
Scott.
thought you were going to say Willow Scott.
With co-host Willow Scott on my lap right now. And not sponsor Celsius, specifically peach mango green tea. I only have it in this cup because I couldn't refrigerate this before now.
Yeah, so you need some ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Atlas is obsessed with fizz-free Celsius.
Big fan. I think I saw a TikTok the other day where they were like, when they accidentally pick a Celsius that's fizz-free without any carbonation, and they're like, ugh, it's disgusting. I'm like, honestly, I like it. Celsius, if you want to sponsor, go ahead.
We're throwing you a bone.
I will take it so quickly. You don't have to pay me anything. Just send me a pack of 12 per month. If not every 2 weeks. And then we're set.
Yeah. Yeah, and he will speak highly.
I would honestly be so happy about that. If that's the only thing we get from this podcast, that'd be so fun.
And Red Bull.
Yeah. Honestly, that too. We don't have Red Bull to show right now, but she's a big Red Bull girl.
Atlas is the Celsius girl, and I'm the Red Bull boy.
Yes, 100%. My dad was asking about this yesterday. Like what would like monetization look like for this podcast?
And we were like, it's not.
And I was like, so real. I'm not even remotely there yet. No. But if we could, as I've thought about it since then, sponsorship from Celsius, I'd be so happy. I'd be the happiest guy in the world. And if we could get a Red Bull, oh my gosh. What if we were like on a commercial for Red Bull? We're like doing like a podcast in like a hot air balloon. It's like, welcome to the Red Bull podcast.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Red Bull. And we just got like little wings on our back.
No.
Hey, that's a possibility. I got nothing for Celsius. I'd just say I like it. You know, I don't know what Celsius does for advertisement.
Red Bull gives you, Celsius gives you
200 milligrams of caffeine.
Anxiety.
Straight up. I just want that on like a poster right there. Anyways, we have a few things to go over, so let's go over them.
Well, yeah, it's been a couple weeks.
It has been.
Y'all don't know this, but we skipped last week because Atlas was preoccupied with a job, which we'll get to later. But we've got 2 weeks worth of things to go over to catch y'all up on where we're at right now in the wonderful life of the Scotts.
Of the Scott fam.
Yeah. So, first thing, probably, I think it's the biggest thing that's been going on.
It's the most significant, for sure. Yeah.
We've talked about this previously as well, our creative writing for our movie specifically. We've gotten into quite a flow the past couple weeks with making sure that we're staying on top of it and actually fueling that outline with more and more info and input. And anyway, we're getting to a point where we are very close to being done with the outline.
Oh, yeah, we're on a roll right now.
Yeah, we had specifically last week, by last week, I mean the week before this past one.
Yeah.
We had... Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the number on the date. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But we sat down and came up with our due dates for different parts of the movie, and so we have specific. We feel urgency now.
We have a whole list of pre-production steps to get to production, and so that we can figure out logistically how this all plays out. Because I've made movies before. I love to make movies, big fan, and this would be the biggest production I've ever done so far. And I know the hiccups in indie production specifically. That if you don't hit these steps, you're just going to make a bad movie, more than likely.
Right. And
if you make a good movie, it'll be by chance, and we don't want to take that chance. And so from backwards, we went from all right, production day to having the final draft or getting all the people. And now we're all right, so by end of March, we want to get the outline done. And then by end of, June? Or was it
by
May?
The beginning of June.
Beginning of June. We want to get the script basically finalized in our eyes. And then within that month, have people come in that we trust as writers individually to look over the script, read the script, give us notes, and then we're gonna.
I was gonna say, which will probably look like a couple of circles, couple of powwows.
I
with
was
different
thinking,
groups of people.
at the very least, have 2 other sets of eyes before that powwow.
Yeah.
And then what we're calling like punch throughs, kind of like how like a house inspector like punches throughs bad wood. That's what we're trying to do with this, so that we have enough different sets of minds that look at this from different angles that we could never, so that at the very least we can hear them out. At the very most, we change what they don't like, or we substantiate what they do like.
It's supposed to make it more clarifying what a set of eyes who's not so engrossed into the story like me and Atlas would think, just from consuming this story, right? So, it's 3 short films that make up one feature film, one full-length feature film, but it's going to be handled production-wise like one big production. We will likely be filming things for the last film, the first film, and the second film all within the same day at times.
It's going to be produced in the way that, less so, but produced in the way that like Lord of the Rings was. That whole movie series was produced with a mindset of like, we're just going to keep on filming until we're done with the 3rd movie, but we're going to release it obviously subsequently, not just in one go. And that's our goal with this. It's a thinly veiled way to promote the album, but in reality, we're also way more prioritizing a good movie than we are
a good storyline,
a good movie, a good experience in the theater than we are. We got to stick to like what the album said and what it feels like. It's like, no, we're not just gonna like make a whole movie simply based. Like the score will not just be the album from track 1 to track 14. It'll be it'll be different. That's what we're saying right now.
Yeah,
which is really cool. I like that. I like that kind of mindset.
Yeah, it's actually, when you look at the script, or I guess the outline itself, and kind of where we're trying to go story-wise, it's very non-chronological. We've got a lot of this happens, and it's like, oh, why is this happening? And then you get some backstory that's like in a flashback kind of form, or in a whatever. So there's a lot of flip-flopping between timelines.
I call it parallel timelines.
Yes.
And there's a lot of flashbacks, and there's also just visually, it's helpful for me to see it where it's like you have like the main timeline of like what we're going through, what is like current day, and then like you have a secondary timeline that we're cutting to that's like a year or 2 or 3 years back, if not many years back. And then there's like tertiary timelines that are like blips that like show you certain moments.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I think like when we started to like really flesh that out months ago, I was like, oh, this would be really cool for the audience, because because like this can be very boring. Like, not to give too much away, it's about a relationship. And if it's just a romantic thing, it's very hard to like make that very fun to watch. But if you're doing it the way that we're doing it, and more importantly, we're pulling from references that we like that are of the same genre type, that we're trying to emulate. Like, for instance, there's a episode in Severance that I've talked to you at length about, and we've watched together, that's about the relationship between Mark and Gemma, two of the main characters in the show, that I think is like very impressive, of how they lay out their whole life on film, which is really hard to do without being boring, I'd say, or without being cliche, if you will, because this has been done a lot. And so our goal is to get rid of the cliches as much as we possibly can. Obviously, you got to have some cliches. Trying to make it, make sure the pace is good, make sure that it's visually interesting, auditorially interesting, and not so indie filmy. I think that's the big thing. I don't want it to feel like a student film. And I think there'll just be some things that we can't avoid because of money. But I think overall, with my heavy experience with the people around me that I've met in the film industry, and I think just asking desperately for people to be honest with, hey, does this suck? Or does this feel like a movie that you'd want to watch? A movie that you'd be like, I'll pay a ticket price to watch it, or I'll rent it, or I'll watch it. I will willingly give my time to see this. And generally that's where we're going, obviously. Specifically, we'll show that later. But yeah, that's where we're at right now.
But we kind of had when we first started trying to figure this out, it was the beginning of January, wasn't it?
And seriously, yeah.
We were trying to figure out, like, do we write this? I guess technically it was, like, maybe summer of last year.
It was definitely summer of last year.
When we started actually coming up with an outline.
It was starting, because I remember, like, it was the first time the story was starting to be altered outside of my pen, if you will.
Yeah.
And there was like a process of me letting go. And then once I was able to let go, it was like, okay, this is getting better. So that we can both work together and make a better story.
But really in January, what I was trying to say is because it's such a hodgepodgey kind of storyline where it's got, flashback scene here, and this is what's going on here, but then here's also a little bit before that happened, and it's just kind of all over the place. We were kind of like, well, do we just write it chronologically and then take the pieces and then put them where they're supposed to go?
Yeah.
But I think we started to realize this
it's unhelpful
recently, that we need to just write what we want the outline to be. And like eventually we can take these bits and put them in a chronological timeline from our outline.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Sometimes you put way too much detail that's unnecessary when you're trying to make a full chronological timeline. And it's like we know these characters so well, and there's so much that we're learning about them every day too. But it's also like we're trying to make sure that the parts that matter show through to a viewer, and it's not like we just already know this about them, so it's fine.
Well, I think to add on to that is we instead of engineering it, we are reverse engineering it. We're like, all right, well, we have defined very general, if not specific, beats that we want to hit outline-wise, story-wise. And now we're like, all right, cool, let's keep writing. And what's great about an outline is that you're not writing a script. So it's a lot easier to change like a beat of a story on an outline versus, say, like 10 pages of a script.
For sure.
Which like I've told that to her. I'm like, I want to be very solid with this outline. I want to bring people in, honestly, on the outline before script writing. And that could just be a couple people.
Right.
Just to be like, hey, like, does this even flow?
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, and it would be the preface of, like, this is not all the details. But, like, generally, do you think this is looking good? Or is there, like, a clear, obvious, you're not explaining this moment that should be explained? Or too much explanation, whatever. And, yeah, no, that's why I always love it. And I don't get people, because I think Quentin Tarantino does this, from what I've heard. He just, like, sits down with a script and he just writes the whole thing. And obviously he goes back and edits it, but, like, that's, from what I've heard, that's what he does. And I'm just like, I could never do that. I'm not smart enough to do that. I need it. I need to detail by detail by detail to the point where it's like, I kind of already know how it's going to be written. And then at the, like, last really 10 to 20% of the writing stage, then I'm actually writing the script as a script writer. And that's what I love about this, because, like, we can be very halvesy, or at the very least very much partner-like when writing it. Because when you're writing a script, you can't really do that. Yeah. You can, but then you start to, like, lose the voice, or you start to change certain things. Scripts are so intricate, and I'm just like, with an outline, we can be like logic, because we've talked about movies a lot, especially what stories we like and what we don't like, and we can talk with that kind of mindset. But to us, and now we can actually change it, because like if we were like, not to poo-poo on it again, but like, but if we were in the Stranger Things writing room, we would have loved to change certain things. Yeah. But in this room, we're like, all right, we can change certain things. So let's do that.
Yeah, and there are some, like, major elements that we had in our, I guess, original outline, which it was very rough.
It was rough,
very,
but
very rough.
Such a necessary stage to get to hear, though.
Yes, but there were so many things from that where we're like, cut that completely. The police doesn't need to get involved.
1,000%. There was something like it didn't have a certain character.
Yeah,
we wrote it, a lot of it, on a road trip to go to Arkansas, I want to say, and certain moments where it was just on the notes app. I think she was writing most of it, like typing it wise, and we were just talking to each other. And I think once we transferred that kind of outline to a Google Doc, we were like, all right, let's change this, and this. All right, this chunk doesn't make sense. Fix it. And then we did. And that I call that chunk from the character that we put into it. And we were like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people, especially with writers or people that aren't writers that look at writers, they're like, well, you're a writer because you know exactly what you're doing. And it's like, I don't believe that. I believe you're stubborn enough and what's the term? You have enough stamina, call it creative stamina, to go through the garbage so that you're not sitting there. Because it's like, I felt a little bit discouraged to a certain extent, but I also knew that if we just kept pushing, we'd find a good story. We'd be able to figure it out. Because I could feel that the bones of the story like had a weight. And I was like, I feel like the concept works. And although the outline is not exactly where I want it to be, I think we can totally make this work. And just in like the last 3 weeks to a month alone, I've been very encouraged by working, obviously, with her and seeing the outline flourish and blossom to the point where I'm like, all right, this actually could totally work.
We've also found sometimes it helps for there just to be one person not competing with another person, just getting out ideas and putting it on paper so that eventually it can be like presented as, okay, this is what I was thinking. Yeah. Let's rework this together.
I have found that I'm way more of an editor in that way, which is really helpful. I can come in and I hopefully am not too mean.
No. Well, it's your story.
Sure.
And it's like, I just want to make sure that it makes sense and help you come up with cool embellishments too.
Yeah.
It's so interesting too, because when you're doing something in this kind of structure where it's technically 3 separate stories.
Yeah.
Which it is 3 separate stories with our 3 different
for what
characters.
It is, yeah, 100%, which is awesome. For so many reasons, it's like I really cannot stress enough. Like this last month has been so encouraging to like see like, okay, this could totally work.
Yeah,
this could like the dominoes. I could just see it like, oh, this could cascade so beautifully.
Yeah,
just got to do it right.
Yes, but it's very interesting to see how there's just kind of a natural structure and flow that comes with each individual story being told in each of the 3 parts in a way that is like it. Each of them do have a climax. Each of them do have a build up. Each of them do have like a different goal in mind for each part. And I'm honestly not sure how long this is going to be in the end. I think at the very least,
I think that's one thing.
It'll be probably 30 minutes per part at the very least.
It's possible.
Though, as we're writing Oblivion, I'm starting to think that one's going to be a pretty long
it's
bit. And it may end up being 2 hours total.
When I was writing the EPs and the album in the whole in my mind, and as it became on paper, it's like, you've seen them. Oblivion is substantially longer than both of them. And that was I started to realize that was the point. I realized what I was writing was like a feature film, but in a sonic form, and where I was hitting the beats. Like the first EP is the first act, the second EP is the second act, and the third EP is the third act, and the 3-act type structure. And when we've been writing this, it's been actually pretty encouraging and really cool that it actually has translated into that, instead of like, well, I guess like Gone, the first EP is like 40 minutes and Oblivion was 10 minutes. And it didn't become that. It became exactly how I envisioned what it would become. And that's not shocking. If I could guess, and I could be wrong about this, I'm assuming Gone's going to be 20. I'm assuming Oblivion's going to be 40 to 50. And I'm assuming Desire is going to be 20 to 30. Complete guess, though. Don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
If it works, it works. And if it needs to be a 50-minute whole movie, then like, all right, fine. Like I am always of a mindset of how quickly can we get this story across? Like, let's cut out all the fat to the point where people will desire to rewatch it again. Like, that's always my goal with films.
But also put in as much detail as possible.
Yeah. Which, it's like avoid the plot holes and also avoid the fat. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. And that's such a balancing act. That's really hard to hit. It's kind of hard to figure it out. But all in all to say, I'm really happy with where we're at right now. I'm actually really excited to keep on working at it today.
Yeah, that's what we're doing after this is we're sitting down and doing some more creative writing, and hopefully by the time we're done with our session today, we'll be completely done with Oblivion's outline,
so that
we can get started on.
We just got to get through the locations.
Yeah,
the locations are sucky.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not impossible, but it's just hard.
I've got a list of potential ideas, but we just gotta figure it out.
We just gotta grind it. It's certain moments in this writing process where I'm like, we just have to do it.
Well, when we were originally writing it, there were a lot of parts where we were like, let's worry about that later.
Oh, 100%. And now we're here, and we're like, crap.
We're like, maybe we should worry about that because it is kind of important.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Like I know you mentioned one point where it's like, how did this doesn't, I don't know how much this reveals, but like it's like, how does her phone die at this point? And I'm like, you're right. I don't want to think about that right now.
You gotta figure it out. Like if her phone's didn't she just drive all the way here? Wouldn't her phone be plugged
Probably in a modern age, probably be plugged in, and she's probably using it's like probably all modern at this point. So it's like, how does this work? I'm like, stop talking right now. Yeah. You're making too much sense. Yeah. But it's stuff like that you got to think about. Like a good writer will always think about that. It's like, okay, as an audience member, just poke all the holes. Like figure out what doesn't make sense or what should be there, what shouldn't be there. And that's what I'm looking forward to with the poke through, because I really want to see like the details of things of like people being like, what about this? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're so right. I did not think about that.
You're so straight on, and so I'm really happy for that. Overall encouraged. I think it's gonna be really awesome.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Creative writing wise.
The stuff we like the most. That's what we've been doing.
Yep.
Which also, by the way, side note, to like have a wife that also writes with you like this. Choice.
It's really fun.
It's so sick because it's like you're looking forward to working with your partner that is your lifelong partner. Come on now. That's just different. Yeah. It's fun.
I have a fun time with it.
I try not to take that for granted, but there are times where I do, and I have to like hit myself in the head. I'm like, that doesn't always happen. So I think that's cool. I'm just throwing that out there.
Thanks.
That's really cool.
I enjoy doing it too. I told him as we started to get into doing creative things more, probably midway through our relationship. I guess when you started to let me in a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. When I was like, oh, she's a keeper.
You were like, I think this is going to be a permanent thing. Yeah. I'm okay with you influencing what I do.
1,000%. Because the last thing I want to do is like allow you in and then we have to leave each other. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do with this story?
What am I supposed to do with this? Yeah.
I'm throwing it away.
Yeah, but I've always had some sort of creative itch within me that I haven't, I guess just haven't allowed to.
I don't think you found a way to outlet it.
And it's not like
consistently.
It's not the same way with Atlas where it's like if I don't fulfill this, I'm going to feel.
I'm just crumbling
empty.
Inside. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like when I am working towards something creative, I get all excited and giddy, and I think about it all the time. And I have this thing where I get obsessive about different things. And
you start to find that role, and I'm like, yes.
And if you get me obsessive about a creative project, I will just keep going and going and going. So
yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to see where we go. I wish I could see Willow just now.
Sorry. She went on a tear for like 2 seconds. She stumbled onto like the top floor of the cat tree. I'm sorry. That was so distracting.
It was really weird. Anyway.
But it's like I've worked with people that say they want to do creative stuff, and I'm always hesitant to that because then I've worked with those people and they're like, they get really discouraged really fast and they stop. And I found those who are creative and those who are non-creative, and there's a spectrum to a certain extent. When you get to that point of dealing with the garbage, dealing with the bad art, if you will, before you get to the good art, non-creatives will just be like, well, that sucks. I shouldn't try. Mm-hmm. And the creatives are like, that sucks. Let's try. Mm-hmm. Let's try more. And she is that way, and I love that a lot. And I love that she's not as intense as me, because I think if she was, she'd have to do her own thing, which would make being a partner pretty difficult, honestly. I don't know. Would you think that? Or am I just being selfish?
I think we've seen this in some of our friends' relationships where they're both so creatively fueled that it feels like one person's has to be set aside for the other person to be able to get what they need.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you do have to full send it at a certain point.
Yes. Which, at a certain point, I think that could eventually start to cause resentment on some person's end.
Yeah, if you're not communicating it, it's pretty bad.
The cool thing for me, though, is that I find a lot of excitement in working on his stuff. And one of my favorite things to do that fills my bucket the most is serving you, making you feel loved.
Oh, it's great.
And this is one of the best ways I can do that.
Yeah.
And so it's cool that I get a lot out of it, too.
You also can own it, too. It's not just like, well, I'm just helping you. I don't know. Say, like, with the drum covers. I don't know how much you can own in that.
I love doing the drum covers.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, they're probably not nearly as fulfilling as writing this.
Or, well, I was going to say, or drumming.
Or drumming, yes. I guess so. Not as fulfilling as me drumming it at all. I have to agree. But it's like stuff like that where it's been really awesome. Because I told her multiple times, I'm like, if you don't want to write, it's okay. We can stop this right now. I can figure it out later, or I can table it forever. I don't know. But so many times she's been like the proponent to push us to get to where we need to be, especially with the outline.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, we should do this.
I'm like,
we should work on it right now. And you're like, oh.
I'm like,
okay.
Bob's your uncle. Let's go.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about that.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Anyways, it's really
we've
great.
been really excited about that, so we get passionate and we talk about it for a long time.
I'm passionate about seeing how long the movie's going to be, and what it's going to cost, and who's going to be involved. That's what I really want to see.
Yeah, if you're an active listener to this podcast, that means you're somewhat involved in our lives. If you want to be part of this movie making process, we need all hands that we can get.
You know how to contact us if you can, and for the people that can, more than likely. We'll have our numbers on some level.
Yeah.
We want to work with y'all, honestly. In whatever position you guys want. It could be writing. It could be post-production. It could be production. Whatever you want.
Except for directing, which all of you...
Except for that. Oh my gosh, that's the funny part. I'll go on a little tangent. I do have this running document, this Google form that I've sent to some of my film friends. I got to send to more. And it basically asks, like, what jobs do you want to do in order? And, like, 90% are saying directing. And I'm like, why would I ask?
Yeah, why would I ask you for help on my project if I wasn't going to be the one directing?
100%. Yeah. I'm like, I could understand producing, which is very similar to directing. But directing, guys, come on.
That's the other thing, too. It's like me and Atlas are working together on this. At the very least, either me or him is going to be the director.
1,000%.
At the very least.
Yeah. And, like, you could help with producing. You could help with, like, just planning it. But it's like, sorry, guys. If you want to direct, like, this is...
Do your own thing.
Real talk. Real advice. Like, if you want to direct as an indie filmmaker, do it yourself. Because it's not worth it if somebody's actually asking you to direct unless... it's a really cool film. And by the way, at that point, they probably want to direct it themselves. Yeah. If they're competent enough. And so that's where I come from on that.
Come up with your own thing.
Yeah. Very, very. I talked to my producer, Professor Frances Perkins. Love you, by the way. And I asked her, like, at the beginning of my years at UNT, and I was like, is there, like, a path for directing? And she was like, in short, no. Literally every other job has like a ladder you can go up on. You can work your way up. Like producing has one, being a DP has one, audio, all the things. All the jobs except for directing, at least the things that you should probably want to direct. Because honestly, if it's a good enough film, you would want to have your name as director, even if you're not really technically directing. You want that to boost your name as like a thing for marketing so that you can get more jobs. Like the last thing you want to do is just give that golden ticket away unless you're just a real introvert and you just don't want to talk to people. And at that point, you're probably not the one that's making the movie.
You should be a director.
Correct. Like be an editor. Like that's the greatest place to be.
Yeah.
And it is. It's like, where's Hugo? Anyways, geez, we gotta get going on this one.
Yeah, I know.
Stop talking about writing.
Speaking of
movies,
films, and all of that, this past weekend, we actually spent a lot of it apart from each other because Atlas was on a Paramount set.
Twas.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah. I've been. It's such a thin connection. I shout out Vanessa Ponce, one of my friends from UNT. She got me on a set. On a Drewski set, on a Drewski set, not a shet. I don't even know what that is. And It's like the guy Drewski, like the meme, him. I got to be on a set to help PA production assist for that production. Got to meet a cool person named Zuleika Fiore. She's awesome, and she 2 weeks after that, said this was years ago at this point. 2 weeks after that, she was like, "Hey, like, do you want to be?" I think she submitted my name for a Paramount set, and I got contacted by a Paramount representative, and I was like, who was talking to me because of Paramount? It's crazy. And so I said yes. It was a Landman promo shoot, and I got to that set and I saw Zuleika on it. I'm like, did you submit? And she was like, yes, I did. I'm like, you're the greatest. Thank you. And so ever since then, I've been recommended every once in a while for the Paramount promo shoots for certain shows. I've done Landman, I've done Lioness, I've done The Madison, which is a new show coming up. And for this one, we actually did similar type of promo shoot, but for Lioness season 3 coming up. And it's crazy to see how these multi-million-dollar productions work. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, it's really awesome and comforting because it's like the only difference, like I've said before, is that it's money, and how many eyes are looking at the production. And I'm not trying to downplay that, but in a filmmaking sense, in a craft sense, it's just scale at that point. It doesn't mean it's better or worse. It's just bigger, which is really cool.
They just have a set. They just have a director. They
have all the cameras. They have all the lights. They have all the audio. They have all the things.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool that the process of filmmaking is not much different on a big set, except you just have more people, and the people are probably more skilled, and they're probably more well known. It's important factors, but it's not much different than like what we're doing for Annex B for that movie. And some actors I got to see but not talk to, which sucks because it's like, man, I really want to talk to these people because I'm just curious. You have Nicole Kidman, you have Zoe Saldana. There's this one actress that I'm always forgetting the name of. You're going to have to look it up, unfortunately.
I'm looking it up.
From a show that we know, that we've been watching. She's been rewatching with me. I've been watching for the first time, called Lock and Key. It's on Netflix. It's actually really cool. Really high concept. I really like it. I think it's really nice.
Lysla?
Yeah. Lysla de Oliveira, I think is how you say that. She's one of the main actresses on Lioness. And it was like kind of funny. I remember like sitting there because I've seen her before because we did the promo shoot for season 2 in the previous year or two ago. And I remember sitting there. I was on a lockout, which a lockout, for those who don't know, is basically a place where PAs go to, whenever they're shooting, stop anybody that's passing through or trying to go into a direction they shouldn't, so that, like, say, like somebody's coming in, they're trying to go towards the set. I'll be like, hey, hold up. They're filming right now. Just wait. And it feels so stupid. You feel kind of like a parent, but like most people are professionals. So they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. My bad. And so I was at a lockout that was like right where all the actors went to and from the set. And so like, I remember sitting there, I was like on my phone because there's nothing else to do. Actually, I think I was like in my notebook. I had a notebook because I was really bored. And I was like sitting there, and then I saw the actress from Lioness. I was like,
Lysla.
I was like, And I pull out my phone. I looked her up because I was like, Lock and Key. I think that might be. And it was. And I was like, you're kidding. And I texted you immediately. I was like, you're not going to believe who's next to me right now.
Yeah, and it's been like, we've really been enjoying watching this series. It's one of my favorite Netflix originals that they've done. It's just a pretty good storyline. It's based on a graphic novel series. If you haven't watched Lock and Key, go watch it.
It's very solid.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing about it that's like,
which a lot of Netflix shows and movies have, unfortunately.
Yes. Sorry, Willow's scaling the cat tower.
Willow is weirdly scaling the cat tower in the worst way possible.
She's like on her back.
She's like she's like freaking out, like she's gonna fall. I'm like, dude, you could just, I don't know. But I sent you that name and you were like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you were like, where's she at? I'm like, she's 3 feet next to me.
Yeah.
And all I wanted to do was just to ask her about Lock and Key and that experience. But it's like, if you do that, so likely you are to be fired and never get called on again, because then you'll prove that you can't be around famous people, which on Paramount sets, that's all you're really dealing with, honestly, when it comes to actors, especially at that level. And so I had to just be like, silently be like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
I like this. This is really cool, but also, dang nabbit.
it.
I want to do things. I want to talk to these people because I'm just really curious. There's also another actor that I like a lot that was near me called Michael Douglas. He's just in one of my favorite series, House of Cards. Really cool guy. He was having a lot of fun on set. I don't know if he was inebriated or not. Not trying to spread rumors, but he was talking a lot during interviews that weren't his interviews. And so I was just kind of sitting there like, man, if you weren't who you were, you'd be kicked out.
Yeah.
But he's just having fun. I believe Morgan Freeman is also on this show, which he was there for the last promo shoot, but he wasn't for this one for reasons I honestly don't know.
It seemed like it was just the ladies.
It was a pretty chill shoot for what it was.
One, yeah.
There's a few men, but the men were lower tier actors, I'd say. Nothing against them. They were really nice too. Just they don't have the notoriety. And anyways, it's so interesting because I've talked to Zuleika, the person that got me on the set on Paramount initially, and she's so used to it because she's around all these people all the time. Like she's kind of like, she's so numb to it. She's like, I don't even care. I'm like, I don't care that you don't care. I care. This is just kind of cool. It's cool to see these people as people. And you're like, oh, you guys, you were in the right rooms, the right time, in enough screens to the point where you have such notoriety that although you're doing it just like a job, you have so much power. And that's so insane to me.
Right.
I don't know. It's just, it's so crazy. And I'd love to like have like you on set or like any of my friends on set just to show it's like, this is such a weird experience because you're like, I want to freak out right now to a certain extent with certain people and talk to them and like kind of geek out, fan out a little bit. But I'm also like, it's my job. I'm just sitting here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to not talk.
Yeah.
So conflicted to a certain extent, but really cool overall. But yeah, that's Paramount. It was pretty chill. We set up the set on the first day. Second day, we did filming. And on third day, we did like barely any filming. And we tore it down, and then that was it. Mm-hmm. And now I have another Paramount shoot coming up from Wednesday to Friday. I'm not exactly sure what it's for. I think it's like another promo thing. I don't know what show it is or what it's specifically for, but yeah.
We'll get information later, and you'll hear about it next week.
Next week, hopefully.
Yeah. She's gonna do it again.
I'm sorry, we're just looking at Willow right now.
Yeah. Anyway, but while Atlas was occupied with his Paramount shoot, I wanted to fill in my time so I didn't feel so lonely at home on my weekend.
Yeah, I always feel a little bad because she usually has the weekends.
I always have the weekends off.
I always have the weekends off, and we usually hang out.
Have
more intentional time together. And this time,
yeah. So when he has to take a job on a weekend, he's like, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry, and she's just like, "Why do you do this to me?" I'm like, "It's a job."
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm making money.
I gotta pay for her Six Flags tickets. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know the time.
Yeah, but while he was busy doing that, I went and got lunch in Fort Worth with an old friend of mine I haven't seen in probably 2 years now.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit less than that. But we caught up. We had a very long conversation at a Flower Child in Fort Worth, just catching up on all the things that we've missed out on. So that was nice. Getting to see her and talk to her. Shout out Emma.
Yeah.
And yeah, the next day I took my grandma to get her nails done with my Aunt Katie. It was Grandma's birthday last week.
Yeah.
I think she's 72 now.
I mean, I think she's like 29 right now. That's what I keep saying. People keep laughing at that, like I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm wrong.
But it was really fun. We had a good time. We went and got our nails done in Ennis, which my nails are not holding up very well, and they didn't do the best job, but
They look great from past the cuticle.
From a distance. Yeah.
From a distance, honestly.
Yeah.
I love them. I think they look great.
Yes. But Grandma loves Georgie Boys. We've talked about Georgie Boys on here before. I'm a plug
Another sponsor that I would love to have.
Georgie Boys, sponsor us, please.
Please.
Your employees know us. I promise you they do.
They don't like us.
They don't like us because we come in at 8:30. But
it's the only time we can usually, unfortunately.
But anyway, you need to try Georgie Boys. But me and Grandma went there. We got a sampler. We got, did I tell you which flavors we tried?
I don't think you did. No.
We got Cinnamon Girl, but it's the second version. They have Snickerdoodle bits in it now too. It was actually really good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I don't know if I always like the bits.
Then there was, we got coffee, which I think you'd like that because you like tiramisu, but he doesn't do coffee.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just stubborn. I don't have a reason to not try coffee anymore.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Maybe you should try like a sample of it next time you can.
I'm down. Yeah. Next year.
Next year. But that one was really good. We got strawberry.
Yeah.
They're fresh.
Strawberry's great.
Yeah. Their fresh flavors are great.
Strawberry's a move.
And then we also got Butterfinger. And that one was really good, which is not anything he would like. Yeah. But me and Gramma both liked it a lot.
Is that a caramel-based kind of thing?
No, it's like a peanut butter brittle and chocolate.
Definitely would not like that. But
really, really good, though.
Up their alley stuff.
Great flavors. And then we just like hung out the rest of the day and just talked and caught up. And after that, I left and got some groceries and then came home and we made dinner and called.
You did call me. You're like, hey, like, do you want to come with me to get groceries or do you want to like chill in the apartment? And like, if I could chill, that'd be great.
No, I said, I think you should.
You definitely pushed for it for sure because I felt a little bad because I was like, I don't want you to go alone. But you were like, no, you're probably tired. I'm like you are correct.
But then we went back. When I got back to the apartment, we got to hop on a phone call with my brother and sister-in-law, Atlas's brother.
And my sister-in-law.
And his sister-in-law, Matthew and Alex.
Yeah.
We haven't talked to them since Christmas, so it was just really nice. They've gotten a house since last time we talked.
They live in Phoenix, Arizona, and they just got a house, which is really sick. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Really happy for them. It's like so awesome to see somebody that's still...
It's so nice
not too far away in age.
I was going to say, it's nice to see people just a couple steps ahead from us.
Oh, it's possible.
Yes. Which I really appreciate. I love the dynamic of my siblings and your siblings.
Oh, sure.
Because Atlas is the youngest of 3. I'm the oldest of 5.
It's a big old bridge of people, which is really cool to see the life stages.
But it's so nice because his older brother is 4...
It's 4 years.
He's 4 years older than him. He's
a March birthday, and he's about to. It's March 5th. He's about to have his birthday.
But
I'm
gonna be 29.
I'm 24 right now. He's gonna be 29. He's 28 right now.
But he got married the same age that you got married, and so it's like literally he's 4 years ahead of where we're at.
Oh yeah.
And so it's cool to be able to talk to them and get advice from them on that kind of perspective. Mary Elizabeth and Carson, they're just a hair ahead of us as well.
Yeah, and they're doing a whole different thing too because she's doing medical school.
Medical school and trying to balance that.
He's like an inventory guy for oil. I don't even know. They're doing their own thing.
But they're doing great.
They're doing great.
But we were really glad to talk to them.
It was awesome to catch up with them, honestly.
Yeah.
It was like such a great conversation. Something we got to do way more often than we've done it before.
Yeah.
I think I said like in the comments, like, we should do this more. And they're like, you can call us whenever. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you're right.
You're right.
I forget that sometimes. We do have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
So
but it was really fun.
That was really fun.
Enjoyed that.
I liked it.
Yeah. I also have on our topics for you to talk about your organization.
Yeah, no, I'd love to talk about this
work.
just at least a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're talking about schedule. Right?
Yeah. Well, when Atlas was on his Paramount set,
it was like
he had a lot of extra time, as you could.
Tell.
Well,
it's like you can just a lockout. You're literally just sitting down for hours. Like I sat down for like at least like 8 hours straight for one day. I think it was the second day, and I just remember being like, although I do like this is kind of fun. I don't want to do this forever. This PA gig at least. I'd love to do better, more substantial jobs in my opinion. But at the same time, I'd love to get my business, A&M, which is so aptly named Atlas Narrative Media. I want to get that ball rolling a little bit better. And so I remember just thinking to myself, like, all right, what would it look like because I wrote down my goals, and some of it was business oriented, some of it was personally oriented. And I was like, all right, what would a schedule look like? Like if I did this one day, what would the perfect schedule look like? So I would make sure, because I've found myself on certain days with her where I've slept in way too much because I'm me. And then I get to work way too late. And then I come back way earlier than I desire because I knew I didn't do as much as I could have. And I feel sad and wompy. It's not great. And I'm like, well, what's the best, most loving thing I can do for her and also for me, kind of in tandem, which is to do as much work as I know I can.
Which is to get up earlier than he has been getting up so he can work out before I leave for work.
Yeah. And
then leave the same time I do so that he can get back the same time I do.
Which I have found, and what I knew beforehand on certain days, like if I worked as many hours as she did, I would usually feel fine. I wouldn't feel too bad. And so knowing that, I was like, all right, I'm going to make a schedule kind of around that. And so on workout days, I had it as like, I'd go to the gym between 5:30 and 6 a.m., get that out of the way, which is so nice. Oh my gosh. It was so nice just implementing this. Like the first day was so great. And every day since then. And to be fair, I've not done it for more than a week, but it's pretty great right now. But just, I've outlined it so pretty methodically of like, all right, well, these are the goals. This is what I've defined what I want. And it's much clearer than it's ever been. And I'm just wanting to whittle it down. And I have like dedicated time for A&M, dedicated time for NXP, dedicated time for major projects, which could be NXP, A&M, or Atlas Drums, or literally anything else. I literally, on the calendar, I have like in the notes for that major creative time, like 20 different projects. Because I'll get to that time, I'm like, I don't even know what to do. And then my logical brain is like, look at the list. Mm-hmm. You got it. You know what to do.
You have tons of stuff.
You have tons to do.
So many things.
And not to be inundated with option, but to be like, hey, like, if you think you don't have anything to do, you're wrong. Mm-hmm. you have things you could do. Just make sure you can define it. And then once I implemented that on, I forget what the day was, but when I did, it was like, I remember coming to you and I was like, I think I've had like, that was like the most productive day I've had in months, if not years. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm doing that more. I have to do that more. That would be ridiculous if I didn't do that more. And I've done it pretty consistently, I'd say. Like I said, not done it for too long. Yeah. But I have it on my Google Calendar of like things of the it's looser.
Time slots.
100%. I have the time slots. And what's great too is that when I know it's like, say, like a specialized day is either a shoot day or figuring out gear, or say for Atlas Drums, because we did some covers that we're going to talk about very soon. And when I know that's a thing, I can be okay with like, okay, well, I know that the major project that we have to lock in now for today. But on the days, which there are a lot of them, where I'm not necessarily scheduled for anything else except for working on my stuff, mm-hmm. then I'm going to work on my stuff. And it sounds straightforward, but honestly, from living with her, knowing how she feels, figuring out me and how I feel, how does that work, and then like looking at the goals looking forward, it's been very awesome to focus and strategize what that looks like per day without being inundated with option and sad that I'm not doing anything else.
Right.
So overall, she's been very encouraging in that and very motivating for me to get my act together, and so that I can be a much better husband, provider, and just person that treats my work as work instead of like, well, I just need this money to buy gear, versus like, I want to make money so I can provide for my family. It's mm-hmm. a very different mindset, which is very motivating.
So that we can get a house eventually.
1,000%. Yeah. And that's the goal right there. But yeah, that was, and I like that we leap off to that topic on our call with Matthew and Alex, because that helped me a little bit too, with like, oh, they have a house. Well, I know they're locked in. I'm not locked in. Mm-hmm. Let's change that. Yeah. And so that was really awesome.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you had a good work week, and I'm sure it's going to pick right back up tomorrow.
Yeah. I hope it only flourishes, that I can whittle the schedule down even more. Because I told myself, I made sure that I was like, I'm going to make the schedule, and I put it on my Google Calendar for one day. And I'm like, no matter what, do the schedule exactly to the T for one day. And if you hate it, then we can change it or torch it, whatever. But if you love it, or at least like it, then let's finagle it so it becomes your favorite schedule of all time.
Right.
And I loved it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to change this unless I need to change things.
Yeah.
And so I've been very happy with it. It's been really, really awesome.
I'm very glad.
Yeah.
I guess we can lightly touch on your coffee with Luke, too.
Yeah. Luke is McGahey, my guy. What's up? Mm-hmm. Luke is awesome. I hadn't talked to him in a while. And he reached out a few weeks ago, before the coffee that we had, to be like, hey, like, I'm reaching out to all my people, haven't seen them in a while. I want to talk to you. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And so we got coffee, and it was like such an encouraging conversation. And we really just talked about God the entire time. It was like, it's my favorite thing to talk about. And it was really awesome to see where he's at. He's grown a lot. He's in a good place professionally, spiritually, emotionally. Like, a lot of things that I saw that weren't exactly in a good place pre this coffee are just like tenfold. God has been doing things in his life that it's been really awesome. And I know I've been there where I've needed that change, and I love to see that change in my friends. And that was just really encouraging. I want to grow closer to him for sure. But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I remember he called me afterwards and he was like, I mean, honestly, I was kind of dreading having to set aside my day to be able to go get this coffee.
It was the second day of implementing the new schedule. And I was like, oh, I gotta like upheave the schedule again.
But then you were like, but honestly, that's the best conversation I've had with somebody in a long time.
In a while.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad you were able to set it aside. That's something I feel like I'm pretty good at because I'm pretty emotional, and Atlas is pretty logical. I think people find that a lot with women versus men.
In a social scenario, for sure.
Yes.
100%. I think that's just how we're wired.
But I've always been very encouraging of Atlas, like, hey, maintain that friendship. Hey, give that person a chance.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, and if you hate it, you don't have to set up another coffee.
Never again.
But you said you were going to, so let's do it.
And I was like, all right, fine. And then I did it, and I called her. I was like, I'm so glad you forced that. I'm not gonna lie, or encourage that, not force. That sounds mean.
No, I told you. That's your decision.
It's like you do whatever you want.
But this
I'm like,
is what
that's
I
fair.
think.
And so I did, of course, and great conversation, so encouraging. So many things about it that I loved.
Yeah.
Just overall, it was like really cool to see somebody very, if not the same age as me. I think we might be the same age.
Yeah.
We're very close. We're in the age range.
But bottom line, if you are in a relationship, okay, couple things.
Lock in, guys.
First thing, if you are dating, the reason dating exists is to be able to court to see if you're wanting to marry somebody.
Yeah.
The second you think, I'm probably not going to marry this person, quit dating them. 2, when you are in a relationship that you're like, I'm thinking that this is going towards marriage, it is very important that you're able to take the input of the other person, even if it isn't something that you 100% agree with, because that is the purpose of having a different person next to you, is to offer a different perspective and to offer different thoughts and opinions and other ways that could help you grow and blossom and flourish into a place that feels uncomfortable and beside yourself, but better. So that is my advice.
Just to add on to that, I think if the person you've let in so intimately, the person that will probably know you, if not already knows you more intimately than anybody else, and you trust them to, have your best interest at heart, the advice they're giving you, especially even if it's curt or harsh, whatever it looks like,
to be attacking.
It's not trying to tear you down. It might be trying to tear a part of you out. I think that's the big thing.
It may be ultimately it's trying to build you up in another direction, which may mean having to rework some existing structures that you already have, which may mean taking apart some things.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
But the goal isn't to completely take it apart and not do anything with it, but it's to rework and try and find a better solution.
Just have a listening ear, and that's something I'm learning every day. That's the one thing that I always can have an issue with, especially with intimate critique, if you will. I know there are times where you've told me, even in this scenario with the coffee and just other scenarios where I'm just like, I don't want to take this advice. And then like a couple days will go by and I'm like, I should take that advice. Even if I might not want to right now. And I hope that in my years, in our years forward in marriage, I become more mature so that there's never that wall just drops down, and whatever critique you give me, I'm like, that makes sense. Or I'll be like, actually, I disagree. And if I disagree, but you're right, then I'm going to try to find myself a way to agree. And that's what I want personally. Because the times when I can put down the wall and take the critique and apply it and become a different, better person,
you feel better.
I'm just holistically better. I am just holistically better. And so overall, I'm very, very encouraged that, every piece of advice you've given me has either been really helpful at the very least, and the very most extremely sanctifying. which is what I've told you I want in the first place.
Same goes for me too.
Yeah.
On the other end,
Yeah.
a lot of advice that you've given me that's been like, I don't like that, and I've done it.
That's stupid.
It's been helpful for me. He's been really good at making me set aside my people pleasing side and putting my foot down in different scenarios with different relationships.
Yeah. Well, in those scenarios, I see you're hurt and you're trying to justify the fact that they feel better or the scenario is not in a bad place where they're not mad at you as a good cost benefit analysis to your resentment. And I'm just like, be so real. Biblically, that doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. But overall, longevity wise, I've never found that to be fruitful for anybody.
But it's so helpful.
But she takes it, and this is really nice. I really appreciate her trust in my leadership.
For sure. For sure.
She doesn't have to.
Yeah.
But she does. It's great.
Anyway, moving on.
But stuff like that,
Yeah. Additionally, this past week, we went and saw the 21 Pilots movie.
Yes, we did.
Twice.
Yes, we did.
We saw it on Thursday, and we saw it on
Thursday
Saturday.
and Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our Friday.
First at Cinemark, then at AMC. We got a popcorn bucket.
We got the popcorn bucket.
I've been seeing on social media that people have been having a hard time.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to get it, but when we got to the Cinemark and I saw it, I was like, you want to get that?
I saw they had them at the premiere, but I thought it was probably a premiere thing.
Yeah, because they had the previews and everything.
Yeah.
And I totally assumed they were just going to sell out at that point.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we got one, though.
No, it's actually
I'm
so
so
sick.
glad. It's so cool. It's over there on the counter.
Yeah, we'll show a picture, but it's actually it'll be the popcorn bucket that we use.
Yes, I wish we could take it to Cinemark and
that would be such a move, though. But I think it was just for the day that it said, which sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No matter. I'm very happy with it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
And we got to see that.
But it was a really good production. I think what I found with Atlas is that when we go see things like that in theater, any sort of thing that is some greater scale of what you want to do, he has a very analytical brain towards it, and he is focusing on every single little detail.
Oh, yeah.
The entire time
All
he's
production.
watching it. Of how can I do that?
Yeah, how does it work?
Yeah. Do I like that?
How does it function?
How can I do that?
That's me on the Paramount set. That's me when I'm watching this film. 100%.
Yeah. And so the first time we watched it, he was kind of like...
I was locked in. And you were like...
and the second time, he was more like...
I was like, I'm chilling, man. This is really cool. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. But I see it more as I'm just like, this is such a cool way that they
they're so cute,
the
little
moment.
boys. I love the behind the scenes. And they're doing my favorite songs. And I'm just sitting there like, man, that light is so expensive. How do they fly that up there? Why is it moving? How is he up there? What? What is he doing? And I'm thinking about the vocal technique. I'm thinking about the lights. I'm thinking about the drums. I'm thinking about everything. And you're just sitting there like, the music's really cool.
I love Tyler and Josh so much.
Tyler and Josh. Oh, yeah,
they're
fun.
so funny.
They're such
so
dads
funny.
now. They're such dads. I love it.
They are. But we love them so much. And I'm so glad that that's something that brings me and you together. It's our love for 21 Pilots.
It's fun.
It was so sweet, too, because it was a film documentary, I guess is the way to put it.
It's a concert film with behind the scenes.
It was a concert film of their tour that we met at. So the set list was very familiar.
Yeah,
and
nearly the same.
Yeah,
which is
it was
really
very
cool.
familiar because it was I remember the first time I saw this, I was with you.
Oh, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting here married in this movie theater watching it together.
Yeah.
So
that's how I felt every time. When we saw the...
And no one in this movie theater knows that we met at Clancy World Tour.
They don't know. They don't know it. Well, I remember us seeing Clancy Breach tour. That was a big moment. And then obviously seeing this movie, it's just reminders of this is the origin. This is where we started right here, which is really sick.
I was getting emotional at different parts because I was I remember turning back and looking at him at this part.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I'm like, huh. And he's right next to me, and we're married.
This is my favorite person in here right here. I love it.
And I love it. But
yeah, it's really cool.
On another note of what we did this weekend.
Yeah, it was in between the movie previews.
In between the movies.
The movies, yeah.
We went to my showroom, and we set up Atlas's drum kit.
Oh, yeah.
And lights and everything. And we recorded another drum series. Woo! Yay!
Trip dip. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And so we're really excited. My dad has given us permission to use my showroom whenever we want to after hours for Atlas's creative endeavors.
So sweet, by the way.
Yeah.
Most people never do that.
But we've gone up there just for creative writing.
Yeah.
But it's really nice having it for this too, because the space is just a nice space to be able to.
It's very hard to find a space to drum, especially at the volume that I want to, because it's so loud, so rambunctious. And if you do it at night, you're probably in a residential area, so you probably can't do it at night. And so you have to be in that place of business and to have the kind of square footage to do that, with also the isolation to make sure that you're not ruining anybody else's night. It's a very hard thing to find. I will be straight up. That's why a lot of the drum covers you see on Atlas Drums, for whoever does watch, are outside, because, well, if you're far enough away from everybody, nobody can hear you.
Yeah.
So that's usually why I do that, or why I did.
It's not for a visual kind of thing.
It's not. I try to pick beautiful visuals, but at the same time, I'm like, I just want to be able to drum.
Well, ultimately, you kind of want it to be in like a void kind of space so that your lights can look sick.
1000%.
And the cool thing about where we're at is that it's definitely a void kind of space.
Oh yeah,
where your
yeah.
lights
I
can
was
shine.
doing some quick color grading yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, you can't see anything else except the drums. That's awesome.
Which is what you want.
Yeah, it's
Which is
exactly
so
what I want.
cool.
And it's a window and door showroom, so you have a lot of reflections and refractions, and it looks really cool. And now the fact that we can utilize this space virtually whenever we want after business hours, once we can schedule things. I talked to her about this almost immediately after we did the last cover. I was like, I'm not where I want to be, but if we can utilize this space consistently as I've been told, I would like to do another volume so that I can get physically to where I was, or where I believe I need to be in order to do the other covers that we're trying to do.
Right. Which would just mean monthly we would do 4 or 5 covers in one shoot day.
Yeah.
So that for the next month you have content to
Correct.
be putting out, and then by the time all that content runs out, you've already got new footage to be working on.
Yeah. So you can be consistently weekly covers again.
Yes.
I need to systemize that. But another thing
And we
that
can probably do that consistently for however long you want to, until you need to take a break for other creative things.
that's fair, to lock in
Yeah.
on other things.
Yeah.
For sure. One thing that we did talk about was that we were like, this should be at least a 3-person operation instead of a 2. So we're gonna try to figure out people that could potentially help us with the covers, people that live near-ish to the area, so it's not too much of a drive, and so that they can help us, and hopefully that they like doing what they would be asked to do. At least that would be my goal, so that the weight's off of her to help me, and the weight's off of me to help myself to move things and set everything up. Because what was so daunting on this last run was because it had been so long since I'd done covers, many months, not a year, but many months. And I was like, man, this is a lot. And we didn't streamline. We didn't have anything streamlined. Things were in a storage unit. We had extra gear that we didn't need. We didn't have enough gear on certain things. Didn't have enough XLRs because they were all spread out. So many things that I was like, if we could have just... now it's going to be streamlined, just at the very least by gear. And now I'm just like, all right, labor-wise, I want to make sure that we're not just sapped by the end, which I know that will probably be on some level consistent, but I want to make it easier for us.
Right. As soon as work ended for me at 4, we went to go get
We just
equipment.
We just went.
Yep. And then we weren't set up completely until probably about 8:30.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a bit.
Which is 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
To get the equipment to the
Post already
place.
working like an 8-hour day for you.
Yes. And that was
so
also partly our fault for not having everything streamlined to where we could just grab it and go.
Yeah.
Which we do have it that way now.
Yeah.
So that means it'll be a lot more
I have
simple next time.
segregated the whole storage unit to be like, these are the drum stuff.
I had to go on like a scavenger hunt for XLR cables.
It was so bad. You had to go to my office and our house.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
So, but then we started recording, and we took, nice breaks in between and that type of thing, but we weren't finished till about midnight.
Sure.
So that was about 3.5 hours of recording, not consistently, but recording.
Yeah.
And then we weren't out of there till about 2.
Yeah, 2 a.m. And we couldn't get to the storage unit because it closes at 10 p.m. And
So technically our labor carried over to
The next
Saturday.
day, yeah.
Yeah.
which was the movie day. So we had to wake up around 10 to 11 to get all the stuff there in time so that we didn't miss the movie, which was at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
It was
Which
it was a pretty
I realize
interesting.
now, too, that when we start to do this, that's going to be a consistent thing that we're just going to have to put the stuff back in the storage the next
1,000%.
day.
1,000%.
You know, because
It's
we
just
don't
so
have
much.
access to it after 10. So anyway, but overall, I think it was very successful.
Agreed.
I think we learned a lot of things, too.
Oh, yeah.
Which
I was
is
much
really
better
good.
on the drums than I thought I would be. Because I haven't been able to like really intentionally drum for many, many months.
Since October, probably.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because after that, I didn't have a garage because I moved in with you for our apartment. And
the plan originally was to get his electric drum kit set up in here in his office somewhere.
Yeah.
But even that, it's just loud.
It's just not the same, and it's loud, and it's just, there's not a lot of space in here. So many things that I'm just like.
Hopefully our new living situation that we're looking at some options currently, but we're not going to move out until the end of July.
This is true.
But hopefully the new situation, we could have a garage or something like that where he could at least have his electric drum kit and could, you know, take some time midday to, you know, practice.
Mm-hmm.
But,
something.
we're trying to figure it out.
Figuring it out. It's going to be a flow we'll figure out in like the next few months.
Yeah.
Something like that. But very happy with how it looks right now.
Yeah.
I think it looks really cool.
I am too. I also was on the camera.
She's also helping.
Yeah. So I got to use Atlas's new gimbal that he got.
Yeah. Something I've used for a while, just rented, but finally bought for other A&M projects.
Yeah, and it was really nice.
She really liked it. I'm really happy with it. I told her, I was like, you don't have to use this. It can add a little bit more weight to the whole thing. But if you want to use it, it will look better. Mm-hmm. And you were like, let's do it. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And so she used it and she was like, I love this. I think we were like at the last song and you're like, I could do this for 5 more hours. I'm like, I couldn't. But I love that energy.
It was still hurting, but I was like, I can.
The motivation was there, which is really encouraging. It's not just like, I want to stop, which is never the mindset. I know I could have, if I had the energy and the hands, I could have kept going. But I didn't. Yeah. Which both are very necessary for drum covers. So.
Yeah. But it's okay. We'll get into the swing of it, and hopefully you'll get some stamina built up.
Oh, yeah.
Over
100%.
time,
yeah.
And we can kind of go from there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But we're excited for it. Drum covers will be coming out soon. About to go right.
Yeah. I mean, definitely soon by the time that this podcast is out.
If it's not out at that point, it'll be like a week. Within a week. I would be shocked if not.
Yeah.
But
we'll link it if it is.
Yeah.
As well.
It's called Take 5.
Yeah.
And the funny part too is that the last take or the last song, we did do 5 official takes.
We did?
Yeah, look, there's like a number on Logic where it's like take number 4, take number 5. And it was like take 5. And I was like, yeah. We did stop in the middle of some of them. So then I deleted those. But 5 official takes.
Yeah.
So anyways, I thought that was really serendipitous.
Well, that's nice.
But that's off scot-free right there.
Yeah.
Episode whatever.
Episode whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what episode we're on right now.
I've lost the count at this point.
At the time we recorded this, episode 7 is about to come out.
That's true. So we're past double digits at this point.
I think so.
That's awesome. Trip dip.
I just went to go hold that up, but I didn't know you were going to.
I saw it. I was like, let's do it. Trip dip.
Yeah. Anyway, we love y'all. If you tune in to watch this, whether that's us 10 years from now.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Or if it's our daughter or son.
Yeah.
Or
cat.
Random person who found us on the internet. Hello.
Or Elijah.
Yeah, or Elijah.
What's up?
What's up, Elijah?
We miss you.
Yeah. We love you.
Anyways, love y'all.
See you.
See you very soon. Peace. I'm going to do it from here now because I can. Check this out.